If you saw my Devil May Cry reviews and were hyped for me to play Devil May Cry 5, I apologize it's been this long. But let me tell you, it was worth the wait. This is Devil May Cry 5. Don't go away. You know, in my mind, it wasn't really that long ago that I played Devil May Cry 4. The reality is it's been 10 months. So let's not wait any longer. Story and characters isn't the main calling card of Devil May Cry, but I will say you are foolish if you weren't excited for Dante's return. And it's not just Dante that returns. Lady, Trish, they're all here. It truly is amazing to see that Capcom really does have the ability to bring back old characters into newer games. Resident Evil! But you also have a couple new characters here that take up a lot of screen time. And honestly, my first reaction was kind of like, I don't know, I just want Trish, Lady, and Dante screen time. Wait, who are these new guys? Well, you know, V comes in and so do Nico, and they're two of the best parts of this game. It's amazing to see that Capcom knows how to insert new characters into a well-established franchise and have them be really liked. Ethan Winters in Resident Evil! V as a new character here, I love because he absolutely, the voice actor delves into level 10 of being like the biggest emo stereotype you could think of. And as far as Nico's concerned, any time on screen, I wished lasted longer.
Yo, lady's away. Got any questions for her? Better make it fast.
All right.
Hey, wait. We could use that. Pick it up. Not that one, the other one.
What?
This one?
Next to it.
Come on, Nico, this one?
Sure.
He thought the can? So while you do have comeback characters like Trish, Lady, and Dante, Nico and V take up a bunch of the screen too. And also, you know what I didn't mention? Nero. For a guy who was only in one Devil May Cry previously, that's Devil May Cry 4, I'm actually really glad they reintroduced Nero in Devil May Cry 5 here as a big role. But of course, you're missing one guy. You're missing my favorite guy of the entire franchise. And I won't spoil anything, but he's here. Holy shit, he's back. He's even got Yamato.
What is this? Virgil.
That is right, Virgil is back. Virgil has the most aura. He's the coolest guy I've ever seen in my entire life. Him and probably Akechi from Persona 5 are the on-screen people who you automatically pay 1000% attention to. Any line Virgil says, I love his voice actor, his sword, Yamato, like one of the coolest weapons I've ever seen in gaming. It is like Virgil on screen. I would have like I just like Virgil.
I want to give up.
It's not even unsheathed. What? Okay, that's insane. By the way, if you want to know what the story is, this demon lord Urzin comes down and he says, I'm basically the king lord now, everyone else can die. Good luck. That's the story. Now, moving on to the more important part of Devil May Cry as a franchise is the gameplay. And it's not just gameplay. If you don't know what Devil May Cry is about, think of over the top, and I literally mean completely over the top, like almost comedically over the top action. You gotta think it's been 11 years from Devil May Cry 4 to 5. Like, you're going from old technology to modern technology. Is that same feel here? See for yourselves. Damn. The motorcycle becomes twin swords.
How's that for Road Rash?
Gameplay is split across 3 playable characters, and they all have pretty distinct gameplays. V, Dante, Nero. Dante is the most vanilla guy, honestly. And he's only vanilla when compared to the other two because he has all the basic stuff. Sword attacks, yes, he can split a motorcycle in half and use that as a weapon. He gets like nunchucks at some point, and then you have Nero. He's interesting because he got his arm ripped off. Thanks to Nico and her 1 million gazillion gadget inventions, you can just plug in a prosthetic. That's right, Nero's main weapon is a prosthetic arm, but creativity here shines through. There's literally like over a dozen kinds of prosthetics arm, and they all do something different. One that increases your mobility, you basically shockwave the ground and jump over. You have an electric shock based one that basically palms out a giant shock hand and shocks everyone. You have a rocket boost one, just throw your hand off and the rocket will go and attack enemies autonomously. And you have my favorite called the Buster. This one is by far the riskiest because the risk here is if you get attacked at any point during your prosthetic arm move, right? You lose it. You do get to keep 3 on you at a time so you can reload with a different arm, but that's what makes the Buster arm so risky, is because you basically do a WWE type finisher. For the duration of this finisher, if you get hit, you're screwed over. But if it works, you look cool as hell. You ass move. Like, watch this spawn in. Like, that's the spawn in. That's so funny. Nero also has a grapple, and I use this a ton in gameplay. But let's talk about V, because V's interesting. Now, okay, listen to this. On paper, V sounds pretty boring to play as. You cannot attack as V. V uses demons as his attack. He has like a Black Panther and a bird. He also has an ult where you can summon a golem. Now, if you get the enemies down to low HP, that's when V comes in and he can finish them. So your demons can't actually kill anyone, they just do a lot of damage. You can't do any damage, you just kill them off.
Pin him to the wall. Return it to the...
I will say it was interesting. I think this was actually a very good idea for pacing in this game. Because you're doing a whole bunch of combos with Dante and Nero, and then in V chapters, you play up a different playstyle. I'm not saying that I preferred V's playstyle, because I prefer playing as Nero or Dante, but I thought the interesting choice was pretty well done.
Pin him to the wall. Pardon me.
S. Now the course of action throughout Devil May Cry 5 is the same. Take this clip from my Devil May Cry 4 review. I love how consistent Devil May Cry is as a franchise. Through Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, and out of 4, it's the exact same. I could literally copy and paste that to Devil May Cry 5, and I love this. Devil May Cry 5 has the exact same vibe and feel that previous Devil May Crys have. Linear, mission-based levels. You typically start, run forward 20 feet, and you enter a room that is sealed with a red seal. This simply means kill all the enemies. After that, explore a bit. Try and find some interesting red orbs, try and find some interesting blue fragment areas, maybe find a cool gold orb. You know, look off the path a little bit, then go back to the main path and continue on. Red seal, kill all the enemies. Do this repeatedly until you enter the final boss, kill the boss, mission end, you get your style rating. A rank. It may not sound like a lot, but the Devil May Cry franchise, 5 included, is just pure, creative, over-the-top, fun action. 10 to 12 hours long, 20 missions. How many punches can I do in a row, man? Yo, what the hell? Yo, buddy, try to block all this. That was fucking awesome. Devil May Cry 5 presentation. How does it sound? How does it look? First thing to say, it's amazing how Dante and Virgil, like, they aged them up, right? It's amazing how accurate to what you think they would have looked like. Like, I actually like that they didn't keep them the same age. Like, they just didn't age them at all. I actually really like that small detail. There's tons of OSTs in here. Honestly, hot take, I think I like battle music in previous Devil May Cry's more than this one. But that one theme for Nico's customization van, it's just so catchy.
Hey, ya.
Voice acting here is really good, especially on V's side and Virgil. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen Virgil 8. That doesn't sound like your stereotypical villain. Love Virgil. But also, everyone works so well off of each other. The fuck?
Perfect timing. Now we're starting to act like a team.
Ew. You like flirting with me?
Ew.
Knock it off. Get in the car.
Oh my god.
Now, this topic may not seem like a presentation category for me, or for you, but level design. Devil May Cry as a franchise has had underrated, underrepresented in the talks of good level design. Part of the reason why I never unlock sprint in these games is because I just like to walk around the levels. I ended up unlocking sprint in Devil May Cry 5. In previous Devil May Cry's, you had interesting things like ice levels, these forest levels, very interesting palaces. Here, you get a lot of outer city kind of stuff. Those levels always blend together in games. Sewer levels? Okay. And then you had a whole bunch of this stuff. Like, structurally, if you take all the graphics away and you strip it down to black and white, structurally these levels are well laid out and well planned. But the way they look... But even with that being said, Devil May Cry is a 10 to 12 hour game, right? 20 missions. Like I said, it's about action. That's all you do. So just feast your eyes and judge for yourself. P.S. I love the slow-mo after you finish fights. Like I didn't dodge that, man. That's bullshit, you know it. Oh my god, what a finish. That was fucking sick, are you kidding me? Holy shit, dude's like flying on his back just avoiding the ground. Holy shit. Devil May Cry 5. I won't do it here now in live. I won't rank the games. I won't rank all the Devil May Cry 5s. Devil May Cry 5s. I won't rank all of the Devil May Cries right here, right now. But 5 would be up there. I absolutely, positively worship the fact that the same Devil May Cry feeling from Devil May Cry 1 all the way to 5 is still there. They kept the core character of the franchise alive and well. I'm not a big fan of Urzian, the villain's design. He just looks so... I don't know, like a generic Resident Evil boss. What happened with Urzian later on, I won't spoil, but I really like that ending. And with such a tight story to tell within 20 missions and limited cutscenes, it's hard for me to say this, but I wish we got more out of Trish and Lady. I said the exact same thing in DMC4. But like one of the levels you play as Dante, you're fighting with Trish and Lady, and then they just go ahead of you and you have to catch up, but you never really see them. And speaking of that tight storytelling, Devil May Cry 5 jumps around like a crazy frog in the timeline. Like you're going back and forth a few days from now, a few weeks past, 1107 now, 1109 on Nero's perspective, going back here. This sounds really confusing, but the game does an insane job of making it streamlined and there's no confusion. It's actually kind of impressive. Not only that, the game ends on such a high note that you almost feel like you fall off a cliff in terms of like, oh, this huge thing's happening, let's go. And the credits roll. It's like, wow, those are really good ending, but I got like a couple bites of a really good dessert, and then the waiter took it away. So I had to be greedy and say I wanted more, but that could just be a testament to how cool these characters are. I just don't want to see them off my screen. Dante, Lady, and Trish, holy fuck.
Oh, it stinks in here.
Look at this crew.
No. Smells like hot garbage.
Look at this crew! And even then, after you beat the game, you unlock some cool things. One of these I really like. One of them is a Bloody Palace mode. This is essentially fight waves of enemies until the time runs out. Really cool to just walk in, screwing around with combos, kill left and right, you know, kill binge. But the other thing, and I absolutely love it when games do this, after you finish the game, you unlock a whole bunch of stuff, such as a character and enemy compendium and concept art for the game. I literally think every single game should have this stuff. Art? No way. God damn, they really went crazy hot with Nico in the art. So that's Devil May Cry 5. If you are impressed by the super cool combat, then you're just not going to be impressed with Devil May Cry. Because that's what this franchise is about. Cool ass characters, cool ass combat, and witty lines from Dante. If that doesn't impress you, I don't know what will. Devil May Cry 5, 8.5 out of 10. So that's it. Devil May Cry 5 is done. It honestly feels really nice to finally finish it. I bought it literally, I think, in November. I'm currently on July 1st. Now, there is one more Devil May Cry game out there. There's a game called DMC. It's a spin-off, I believe. It's not even the best game at all. But I'm gonna have to play it so then I can officially rank all the DMC games. Devil May Cry, all of them DMC. If it's really bad, just let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm your host, Beneath the Mask. Hope you enjoyed this review. Peace out. Just slaughtering the whole crew. What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.